Namaskaram. Today we'll be discussing about 49th sloka of 18th chapter from Bhagavad Gita. Why this 49th sloka suddenly? This is very much applicable to our everyday's life because we are all actions oriented. We keep doing our karma and we should know how to perform karma so that our life will be free of worries, free of tensions, and free of negative thinking, negative actions. So, this is very important for us to follow in life. This sloka, Lord Krishna was chanting to, actually is teaching to Arjuna in the battlefield, Kurukshetra war, because Arjuna was not convinced about waging war against his own people, against Pandavas, his gurus, and the known people to him. So he was not ready for the war. So Krishna is advising, is giving upatesam. So this 49th sloka says, Krishna asked Arjuna to get ready. That is, he is giving him the previous slokas deal with the gunas and gunas, swadharma and everything. So everyone has got the duty, that is swadharma. The swadharma depends on our guna. So it depends on sattvic, rajas and tamas. Accordingly only we can perform our swadharma. So in this sloka, Krishna says, you running away from the battlefield is not renunciation. That is not sacrifice. Your duty is to wage war because you are fighting against adharma and you are saving the people. That is your duty. So do it. And he also explains the state of actionless. So when do you reach that stage? State of actionless. Naishkamya Siddhi. And he defines the state of sannyasi. So sannyasi is, life is divided into three. One, the earlier stage, brahmachari, then he gets married, grahastha, then final stage is sannyasa. So sannyasi is the one who is not attached to material and people, and he has no likes, and his objective is reaching Brahman, that is reaching God. He wants only that, and he is not influenced by any external factors. Nothing bothers him. So this is, and he is only a witness for everything. He is in the Sakshi Bhava. He is just witnessing. He doesn't take part in anything. So that is the role. That is the state of actionless for sannyasi. So Krishna says he cannot be sannyasi now. So you continue your duty, be karma yogi. While when you are doing your duty, you can reach the state of actionless. So do your duty. So he is preparing him to get ready for waging war. So here the karma yogi. Karma yogi, he continues his duty because the earth is functioning. There are so many activities going around us. So we cannot stop our duty, and we should not be disturbed by whatever happens around us. That is what he says. So how can be a karma yogi? You perform your duty, but at the same time don't get disturbed by any external factor. Whatever goes around you, don't concentrate on that, because your concentration should be only on duty. That is, focus on duty. So when you focus fully on duty, naturally you reach the state of actionless. So you can be a karma yogi and reach that state of actionless. That is what Krishna explains in this. So karma yogi do their duty, keep mind unaffected by events, what all going around him. Don't neglect putting in your best efforts. Keep putting in your maximum efforts in doing your duty. As like that should be an act of worshipping God. So you should be very true to your duty. Like how when you worship God, you are true to God, like that. You should consider your duty like that. It is divine because it has been assigned to us, and leave the outcomes to God. So you will not be bothered about the result because you are surrendering everything. You are surrendering yourself. You are not the doer. He is a doer. Bhagavan is a doer. So you are surrendering everything. So you are not thinking of your doership. You are not thinking of the fruits of your actions. So you are surrendering everything to Him. So naturally you will not be affected by any other factor. You will not be affected by anything, whatever happens around you. So you can focus on duty. This is a lovely advice for us. It is not only for Arjuna, it is for everyone, because we are also disturbed in our life for even small things and not able to concentrate on what is to be done. So we lose so many things. So for that we should know what is needed, what is good and bad we should know first. So when you know what is good, we will be concentrating on that. For that you need the knowledge. So you may be using your intelligence, you may be using your free will, but you should always think that there is a cosmic intelligence over that. So our free will and our intelligence have limitations. It is like a ocean and wave. Wave is a part of ocean. Wave goes up, rises up, and suddenly it comes down. So our free will is like that. It is nothing before the cosmic will. So this knowledge we should have. So we are surrendering everything to God. So we cannot do beyond. That is, whatever we do, it should be approved by God. Sometimes we plan and we execute and do, but it does not work out. That means God has not approved. But if it is, the result is in favor of ours, then we think that we have done that. We don't realize that we have taken away, God has helped us. So let us have that knowledge of, yes, if it happens, the result is in favor of us, God has approved it. So it was okayed by God. When it does not, so it was not approved by God. It was not okayed by God. So we should have this knowledge. Only then our life will be without any disturbances, without any negativity. That is, and you will concentrate on your work. That is what Bhagavan says here. And your prayers, you may think that I am praying God, so I will get everything. But even prayers are approved by God. Because for example, during the time of Deepavali, there is a rainy season in Tamil Nadu. So what do? The cobbler, the one who is selling the umbrellas, you will think that okay, let more rain come so that people will buy more of umbrellas. But the one who sells crackers, he will pray, no, let not rain, because he has to sell the crackers. So the prayers are different here, but the God decides what is to happen. So it is not in our hands. So we have cosmic will. We have Bhagavan above all that. Brahman is beyond all that. He is away from all this, and he is controlling us. He is controlling everything in the world. So if we have that jnanam, if we have that knowledge, and if you keep our faith in that, our life will go smoothly. In case of Duryodhanan, what happened? When he approached, both Arjuna and Duryodhana approached Lord Krishna before the war, and Duryodhana asked for the army, and Krishna granted the army. So Duryodhana got more army. He thought that okay, Pandavas have only small army, so definitely it is not difficult for me to defeat them because I have got large army. But what happened? Whereas Arjuna wanted only Krishna's presence. So there is a cosmic intelligence. We may think that we are very intelligent, we are capable of doing everything. No, it is not in our hands. So for that we should know, we should follow the teachings of Krishna that we are not the doers and the fruits of actions to be submitted to Lord Krishna. So there will not be any disappointment. That is what the sloka says. How, if there is no disappointment in our life, we accept everything. We accept whatever happens in our life because we feel that it is given by God. So when you follow this in our daily life, our life will go on smoothly. So nothing will bother us. At the same time, we keep doing our duty. We are not neglecting our duty. We carry on that with the thinking that I am not the doer. So this is very, very essential for everyday's life. It is like a bridge. A bridge is there and you find the water from one side flowing to the other side. The flow is going on, but the bridge is not affected by that. And the bridge is neither a recipient nor a distributor. There's no role in that. The water moves on. So we should be like that. So let us do our duty. This is how when a river flows into the sea, the river gives out all its qualities because it flows so fast. It carries so many things. And when it goes to sea, it loses all these gunas. That is sattvic, rajas and tamas. So it has no identity of itself at all. So let us have that in our mind. That is what the intelligence, that is what the knowledge, jnanam. So we all cannot be sannyasis. But being a karma yogi, we can attain moksha. So how to attain moksha? This sloka explains all that. So when you have a success, success should be treated as a side effect. So I have read in a book that Dr. Viktor Frankl, who was in a concentration camps, he has mentioned that success is the unintended side effect of one's personal dedication to a cause greater than oneself. So we will not be affected. It's a side effect. Let us not get attached to that. That is not required. So body, mind and intellect will be there, but we have to function above all this. Let us not attach all this to our Atma, because our Atma thinks of only Paramatma. So our thoughts behind every action ought to be divine. So this is a sloka which helps us to lead a very smooth life without any negativity, without disappointment. Even if failure occurs, we accept it.